we're talking about. So I'm going to share with all of you. It's just that when we tried just now, you cannot hear the voice, but it's okay because they are subtitled and I'm going to read throughout because to me, this is very relevant. What is science? Alan Savory, ecologist, PhD. Peer-reviewed paper. Yeah, we're gonna kill ourselves of stupidity that we created. Okay, that is me. I look the same. I never change. I never grow young or old. I'm static. Okay, I will begin with this. What people actually refer to as research nowadays is really just Googling. Our students are famous for that. Some of the academicians are famous for that. Many people are famous of that and they call it research because they keep on search. That's why it's called research. So nowadays, Googling is considered as research. How sad that is. And this is always my favorite quote whenever I speak. Martin Luther King Jr. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. So what matters and what is not? We have to decide ourselves what matters and what is not. At the end of the day, it's our journey, it's our personal journey. Because one size does not fit all. I cannot fit into a S size and S size people cannot fit into me. That is what ranking is all about. It seems that it is fitting to everybody and that is problematic. That is my bone of contention because one size does not fit all. That's why I call it the meaningless Western construct because it does not fit into our culture, our nations. I'm quoting Elizabeth Gadd in her article, November 2020, a brilliant article that I found, and I would suggest that you read it too. From January 2021, UK research funder Wellcome is the name of the research funder, will fund only organizations that present evidence that they conduct fair output assessment for researchers. Similarly, the European Commission's towards 2030 vision statement calls for higher education to move beyond current ranking systems for assessing university performance because they are limited and overly simplistic. Even then, in that part of the world, think that the ranking system now is limited, oversimplistic, and especially overgeneralized. So that's why I say research and Western ranking equals to tragedy in waiting in our part of the world. Okay, my talk, what I'm going to deal with. First, I'm going to ask the question why we do research. And then I'm going to use the critique to give context to what I'm discussing, that I'm sharing with all of you. There are three articles, very relevant and pertinent articles that I must share. And then research passion versus ranking, how to carry research passion 101, year 1. Why Nusi must not fall into the Western ranking game. And I will give the Malaysian context, which is my university. I cannot speak on behalf of other university because I am a legal academician at my own university. And I will conclude with what Dr. Sue say, where it fits when we can stand out. Okay, this is my take. The social-cultural academic milieu in ASEAN, in Asian, is definitely different from the Westerners. That we all know. That's a hard fact. Academicians in Asian might be educated away in the Western sphere. And for example, I was educated in the US, in the UK, and New Zealand, but they are back for work within the local academic context. When we come back to work, we are within our context. We are not within their context. World scenario cannot fit into our culture, definitely. Yes, it is important that we learn from them. We need international research information and input in order to stay relevant. However, we need to contextualize it within our countries for practicality. What is happening in the UK is a lesson learned, but it is not for us to take it lock, stock, and barrel. Measuring world scenario against our context that cannot fit into our research culture and tradition is as good as killing our research passion. Because remember, go back to the day that we do not care about things that matters. It is as good as every month you get money for doing your job. But is that all as an academician? You can teach skill, but you cannot teach passion. But you can kill passion because by not having the right support, passion will just die a natural death. So ask ourselves, self-check and do a reflection. Why do we do research? A, career advancement, to be promoted. Definitely, everybody wants to be a professor, but not everybody is cut to be a professor, because not everybody, at the end of the day, we want something, but not everybody wants the same thing. But it would be nice to be a professor and get lots of money for doing your job or for not doing your job. So is it for career advancement? Secondly, university requirements, publish or perish. The Vice Chancellor of USM is now constantly hitting on us to publish. If you don't publish, there will be an exit policy. There's the door. Please leave. That was the message. That was what was told to us. You can leave anytime if you don't want to publish. Self-glorification, to smile at your own name. Yes, I smile whenever I see my publication alone with other people because I feel satisfied as I've done my job, which is due to me. Not because if I don't publish, I will perish, I will die. No. Passionate about finding new knowledge. If it is not about new knowledge, go back to the video that I shared. It's meaningless. And importantly, for the betterment of our society, why are we at the university? Who are we for? Why are we coming out with new knowledge if it is not to make our society better? If we cannot make our society better through our knowledge, what's the point? And finally, because I'm an academician and it is part of my job to conduct research in USM, you have to teach, you have to do research, you have to fulfill many baskets. So you do your job. So you ask yourself who you are, because who you are will drive your passion. Of course, academic success depends on research and publications. That goes without saying. So it's a beautiful thing when a career and passion come together, if this is achievable. But you can make it happen by being passionate about your research, regardless the ranking and the what's not, as long as you fulfill what is required out of you as an academician. There's no greater thing you can do with your life and your work than follow your passions in a way that serve the world and you. Because if you don't fulfill that gap, that need in you as an academician, you won't be able to fulfill the gap in the society. So let me go through the three articles that I'm sharing with you. The critique and the context, the conversation, the newspaper on June 18, 2020. This is all the latest, yeah. Beyond the black hole of global university rankings, rediscovering the true value of knowledge and ideas. Rediscovering, meaning we have gone off track. Now we have to come back to who we are, why we're doing this. The recent release of global university rankings and the way these are reported raises important questions about the role and reputation of the universities. What is it? What is our role? What is the role of the university? What is the reputation of university? Why bother publish if you do not know your role and your reputation for the university and the university as it is? Are university measured and ranked according to what we really value? Are you sure? Go back to all the ranking system, which I will go through in a while, and see, are we really measured to what we really value? We value knowledge, but is knowledge circulating in the university, circulating in the academic world? Is it really what's happening? Or you're producing knowledge because I don't care about others, I just want to do my work? Or are they ranked and valued only by what is measured, the measurement that is given? And are those measures authentic and trusted indicators of quality? It is questionable. Who created? It's the Westerners' construct. So we have to go back to that. There is no one ranking standard. For example, databases used by the larger university ranking system, such as Scopus and CSI, SSCI, do not automatically pick up non-English journals. Opportunities for researchers to gain ranking points through peer citations are therefore reduced. So it is, in this aspect, is problematic. And even the global rankings of university quality are weighted slightly different. The QS World University Ranking pay particular attention to reputation among colleagues in the discipline. And the Academic Ranking of World University, ARW, considers citation in journal as proxy for research quality. And the THE World Ranking allocate equally across peer reputation, citation, and institutional self-report survey. There is no one ranking standard, and that is okay, because one size doesn't fit all, even among the rankers. But what is it really that we are looking at? So, indicators, what other indicators of quality and value might be included? That must be also taken into consideration. Taking a broader view, might we consider the spiritual dimension of higher education? Importantly, how do you measure intangible value, the passion? In the rush to measure quantifiable indicators of output, have we obscured these less tangible forms of value? And according to this article, if COVID-19 taught us anything, it was the value of communication and connection. Recreate the university as the place for exchanging ideas, teaching, and research, and not by going through all these indicators, because if it is not for communication, if it is not for connection, I won't be talking to all of you today. I won't be sharing. All of you will not be here to share, because at the end of the day, this is what matters: communication and connection among us. So how do you measure intangible value? So that is the question. This is not about the tangible, but the intangible values, especially in our culture, in the Asian tradition. We value, we have different, totally different value from them. Okay, the second one, Elizabeth Gett, that I quoted just now, her article on 26 November 2020 is about university ranking need a rating. And this is coming from that part. So she was appointed as the chair for this, the International Network of Research Management Societies based in UK. And they went through, and they decided that the need for fairer and more responsible university rankings. When they drew up criteria on what those would entail and rated in the rankers, their shortcomings became clear. Indicators that might not represent university's particular missions and visions. Why do we have mission and visions? And why are we not going with the mission and vision? It's our university, it's our tradition, it's our part of the world. So university need to think about this. The ranking with the largest audiences, ARW and all those I've mentioned, were found most wanting, particularly in terms of measuring what matters and rigor. None of these flagship ranking considered open access, equality, diversity, sustainability, or other society-focused agenda. Society-focused agenda should be our main crux, our main mission. None allows users to weigh indicators to reflect a university's mission, yet all claim to identify the world's best university. And even this is questionable. So rankers need to be made more accountable. In 2013, Brian and Simon came out with universities ranking in critical perspective. And what have they found? Rankings serve as particularly useful lens for the study of power in higher education. At the end of the day, the fundamental finding is they serve as significant indicators of relations of power and contest with the state, as those states provide and regulate higher education. At the end of the day, it is about the political economy of education. University serve as political institution. Okay, as political institutions, universities are driven by power. States concentrate power in societies, and nations and state actions constitute a central manifestation of power in post-secondary education. At the end of the day, it's about controlling the mindset of the society. So I'm bringing you to research passion versus ranking. Who are we as academicians? Okay, how can we make academic research useful to the society? People outside the academia feels that majority of the academic research are not useful in the society. Most of the time, publications are made to get academic promotion, and the knowledge stays at the ivory towers, never get out. We don't care about the marginalized society. We don't care about those who are in dire need. How can we make academic research useful to the society? I'm quoting Al-Adim K 2019. He was still a PhD candidate, and he came out with this brilliant thought. That's why I'm using him. Doing research starts with the love and passion for discovering knowledge and uncovering the reasons causing the observed systematic behavior. Hence, accounting, he's in the accounting discipline. Researchers are encouraged to pursue ideas they believe in and that contribute to accounting practice. If society as a whole and accounting practice in particular do not benefit from an accounting academics intellectual contribution, then one may need to rethink his or her career path. Who are you really serving? So, how to care research passion 101? One you see must not fall into the Western ranking game 101. Malaysian context. University Science Malaysia, my university is playing the ranking game religiously. Time again, we are reminded of this game. Academician must not only publish, but well publish according to the ranking game as determined by the Ministry of Higher Education. We have this MIRA, is Malaysian Research Assessment Instrument. We have to follow religiously, the university follow religiously, and my school has got a report card, a scorecard where publication comes first. Because according to MIRA, at the end of the day, when KPIs is counted, it has got to tell you it's in MIRA. So people like me, who is always invited to give international talk, internationalization means nothing to the university. But because of passion, I don't care about all those, even it means they do not think that internationalization is important. It's okay because I do this because of knowledge. So whose template is Malaysian education following? And it is now not just about scopus. It is about Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. People started to count, but nothing is as important as passion. No matter what you want to do with your life, be passionate. John Bon Jovi, it's my life, my favorite song. Make your passion your profession, and you will never go wrong with that. So why fits when we can stand out? By way of concluding, I will go back to my first bone of contention. World scenario cannot fit into our culture. Yes, we need international research information and input in order to stay relevant. However, we need to contextualize it within our country for practicality. Measuring one scenario will just kill our research passion. Why are we afraid to stand out and stand up? We came out from physical colonialism, all of us, the British, the Japanese, the Spaniards, the French, the whatnots. And we are still being dictated by this mental colonialism, living with the shadow of what have left us years ago. Why? Why have we not moved on? If it is not now, when? When do we plan? Because we have to start teaching ourselves not to be afraid. Yeah, we come from a very feudalistic tradition, but that's over and done with. Why are we still stuck at it? So where do we go? Do we move up? Do we move down? Do we move ahead? Do we move away? But we have to move it, move it, move it. You have to move on. So think that the exchange of knowledge and ideas that doesn't exist now. People do research, people do work, not knowing the rest. For example, in my school, I don't know what the rest are doing, not even in my area, journalism, because people don't share. So how we value and rank the exchange of knowledge and ideas, will it ever come back? It is worth striving for. That is what UC is for. Are those measures authentic and trusted in indicators of quality? Again, what other qualities that might be included? Open access, equality, I reiterate, diversity, sustainability, or other society-focused agenda. Why are we not on this? Yes, we have different school of thought. We have different ideology. I come from a critical school of thought. There are people who just service research, which is fine. It takes everything to make the world go round, which is fine. But we have to share. We have to complement each other. And we must remember, as political institutions, you see, are driven by powers. And we are being pressured by powers to follow the ranking. So rankers need to be more accountable, because we must include what is left. If COVID-19, I will re-emphasize on this. If COVID-19 taught us anything, it was the value of communication and connection. At the end of the day, if you do not communicate, you do not connect, you work in the silo alone, you don't know what's happening in the world, your knowledge is left where it belongs in the university, but in actual fact, it belongs to society. Remember, the taxpayers for public university who's paying, even for the private university who's paying. So let's return to Eden, the video. Let's observe, let's think, let's discuss. Only that passion will remain. I know it is so difficult. Even I find it sometimes demotivated to move on because of this meaningless ranking. But the fight must go on. We have to go on. There's no there's no way out except to move it, move it, move it. You can Google for an answer. You can Google for a mate. You can, there's a dating, I just discovered, dating page. You can Google for a career, but you cannot Google to find what's in your heart, the passion that lifts you skyward. There's no other way except to keep on going up and above. Because at the end of the day, all of us want freedom, academic freedom to do what we like. Doing what we like means doing what is important for the society. At the end of the day, we all want to travel. I want to go back to Bali, to Manila, everywhere, but we cannot. So this is how we spread our ideas. We discuss. Through the effort of Acmc, we are able to do this today. Thank you, Acmc. Salamat, maraming salamat. Terima kasih atas perhatiannya. Apa kamu ada pertanyaan? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Azwan Azmawati, for that very engaging and animated presentation of your topic. You are really good in this. And we are opening our floor for questions coming from our participants here in the Zoom meeting. If you have questions, kindly post it in the chat. So I would like to start with a question, and this is coming from one anonymous audience here. The question as one is, how Western ranking is influential in the publications, and what are your hopes and frustrations regarding this? Were you able to?
Thank you, Dino. My hope and persuasion is just what I've said for the last half an hour. I hope that we will contextualize whatever ranking according to the where we are. We can begin with the university. We can go to our region, because we are different. Why fits into something that is not us? Why are we allowing the Westerners to dictate? We learn from them. Yes, I studied in the Western countries too. But when I come back, I localize everything. And when there are issues or knowledge that we don't have yet, we can learn from them. But we do our own research. We construct what is important for us. Our society, we are totally different. Not everything we can fit into our culture. But to do that, you must be brave. You must be able to take up the challenges. You must be able to take up the pressure. You must be able to smile and say, I did it my way because it's my life. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Azwan. Right. There is a question here from the username USM University. So I think this is from University Science Malaysia. Dear Dr. Azwan, so right now, how can we inform this to the top administration of the universities, and how to make sure that they change the policies regarding this?
Go back to what I've mentioned, communication. 2, connecting. You must be able to connect to the top administration, the vice chancellor, the deputy vice chancellor. You must communicate. I've done that. I've spoken to my vice chancellor about issues, and then we discuss. Whether the Vice Chancellor, Deputy Vice Chancellor, and all the deans want to take it up is not for us to control, but you must communicate and you must keep on communicating in every issue that you can. You know, not you know, sorry. Power is something else, but power is not something else. Power is everything. You may have a PhD, but you may have a different set of thinking. You may not have a PhD, but you have a brilliant thinking. That is always my take. You do not measure education level with intelligence. Intelligence comes with wisdom, reading, and a wise human will be an icon for that. If you can take up issues by your staff, if you can take it up like the wise person you are, then you are a good leader. If not, you are a challenging leader. You must communicate, you must write, you must talk. If they don't want to see you, write. There's always email. I always email my vice chancellor and say things that I find that I must say because I represent myself and I also represent people, the voiceless people. Not everybody is ready to put their job at stake because this involves people are always thinking about, will I not get a professor if I question the university? Never mind. At the end of the day, your conscience is clear because to quote again Martin Luther King Jr., the day people keep silent on what matters is the day you should think about why you are in academia, why you even exist in this world. Thank you.
Right. I do agree with you. You know, if we will just keep on ranting and we are not going to do anything to change this culture, nothing will happen. So I agree with you. It's very important that we communicate our ideas to the higher ups, to the decision makers, so that there will be a change. Or what rather, if they did not act on it, it's okay. At least we tried our best to communicate our idea. Thank you, Azwan, and thank you to RS of USM University for that question. Here is another question. This is coming from Smith Bunchutima. He's from Bangkok, Thailand. What is the situation? What the situation is like in the participants' university? Oh, sorry, this is not a question. So this
Yeah.
is really more of trying to solicit sharing experiences from the audiences, trying to ask the audience if they can share their stories.
Yeah, because this is sharing session, I would love to hear from other universities. I mean, this is the way forward to communicate, share, and see how we can work together to help each other. Please.
Yes.
I see from Pakistan, Hafsa. That's my friend.
Right. Maybe Hafsa can share the situation in Pakistan. How is the research situation in Pakistan?
Oh, Hafsa just wrote, Salam, thank you so much for the enlightening lecture, dear Dr. Azwan. He's full of energy. Yeah, I'm full of energy. Do we need accreditation by Western academia if we start our own journal? No. That is what, when I said our mental colonialism, that is what it is. Why do we need approval from them? Because they have their own construct. You start small and you will become bigger. Take us, Acmc, for example. We started, it started by three very, very energetic academicians who wants to help the younger academician, researcher and all. And look where we are now. We are into our, how many years, Dino? 14?
15.
15. And we have done 10 international conferences, and there will be one in Auckland and end of the year. Hopefully you will join. This is how we started. We started small. Even our journal and our books always aim for the highest star, but work. This is what I believe in. Work from, you have to start somewhere. You don't worry about acknowledgement, whether they recognize you, whether they like you. If you keep on having that mentality, you will never move. Nobody likes everybody in this world. I mean, globally, because we don't know them. But start small. Okay, Hamza? In terms of policies, we are being heard. When it comes to resources, that's where we get demoralized. Yes, in USM too. Right, Ricky, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Research grant, I've submitted so many research grant which has been which is not accepted, but it's okay. Keep on, and ask questions. So I asked a question to my deputy vice chancellor of research. What really are you looking at? What construct are you looking at? Are we just fulfilling the government's aspire? What about the things that are hidden, people that are marginalized? Are we not interested in for example, in my area, yeah, single mother. Are we not interested? Single father, are we not interested in helping them? Or women in domestic violent relationship, are we not interested to help them? Are we just interested about building the superficial, building the superficial everything that is pushed to our face? You have to be you have to be uh, you have to be brave about that. Sorry, Dino.
Yeah, it's okay. I think we would like to hear what Dr. Ricky Abalena is saying. Sir, can you please unmute your microphone and share to us your concern about you know the policies of your university, Sir Ricky?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. As Dr. Azwan was saying, this seemed to be getting through to as many public universities, not only in the Philippines, but as she was saying, also in her university. And yes, exactly the point is the passion is there. We wanted to contribute to policies in the university, and leaders can hear us, but sometimes when it comes to like financial resources, for instance, and then there are government policies that have to be considered. That's where we get demoralized because of limitations. We get stranded, we get discouraged, like and things like those. But as when we talk about passion, of course, it's there, and it's just unfortunate that sometimes we get to meet these kinds of problems along the way.
Right. Thank you so much, Sir Ricky. As one, what Dr. Ricky is saying is that there are some things that we cannot really control, particularly when you are, for example, a state university which is funded by the government. You know, the bureaucratic process of changing everything is very, very difficult. I am not just sure about the experiences of other countries, but in the Philippines, that is what is happening. And yeah, that is probably true in other countries as well. Yeah, your take on this, Azwan?
I will say just a few words, and the rest can help to chip in. Yeah, that is also happening in our country. Things we know in life, that things that we cannot control, we cannot control. The policies, unless we are the policy maker. That's why we need more intelligent people as policy makers. Uh, Now, I don't know about your country. In Malaysia, we have many questionable decision makers. So if you cannot control them, you work towards doing what you can do best. Do a research that has got impact on the society and help the society. So do not worry about what you cannot control. You may be concerned, but you are not there. You cannot say anything. Again, communication and connection. Right.
Right. I mean, that is really a good suggestion from you. And speaking of something that, working on research that you can control, here is a question coming from John Victor Aizon from the Philippines. Greetings to Dr. Azwan. Asking for everyone around here, I believe that Asian researchers, especially from universities, ought to conduct their researches within the context of the actual basic problems of their countries. So now, how can we see right now if a research has ideas and methods that are abstract and decent, yet out of touch with the local realities?
Do I answer or would you like to get input from others? I'll just say a few words. We will not be out of touch with local realities if we know who we are as researchers. That's why I said just now, there are different school of thoughts, there are different ideology and different thinking about doing research. Are you doing service research? Are you servicing your government? Just that. Are you doing a critical research whereby you will analyze and criticize and give recommendation, or are you just doing it because of uh, promotion? You just want to publish or you will perish. It's all the ball is back in your court because I do research that touches local realities. When I do research on media and gender, I look at how media portray women. From the day I was born until today, it's the same story. Why? Why? Because of the decision maker. Because of there is no gender sensitive culture in my country. So it's the patriarchal nature, but I won't let that happen. So I go into that and also go into domestic violence because of these patriarchal issues in my country. That is how I touch base with local realities. I don't do research to say this brand is better than that brand because 1,000 people from USM is using that brand. That's not my kind of research. You can do it, no problem. But if you want to touch with local realities, you have to be realistic. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Maybe the other participants in the Zoom meeting would like to answer the question of Mr. Aison. So please do chat your reply to Mr. Aison in our chat box because I cannot just let everyone speak all at the same time. So if you have an answer to the queries of Mr. Aison, kindly put it in the chat. And let me move to another question because Mr. Aison is actually my student at Trinity University of Asia. I would like to ask you, Azwan, being a faculty of media and communication, what is your take on a joint research by a student and a faculty, but the research that they are going to make will be the thesis or the terminal paper of the student? Do you agree with that? I mean, the faculty will be involved in the research, in the thesis of the student, the degree paper.
Okay, that has always been my bone of contention. I never write with my student until recently because they need my name to be in the paper to promote their work. Based on that principle, I agree because I contributed to the thesis, but they are the corresponding author. The onus is on us not to put our name as corresponding author. For that reason, I agree. But I've seen, excuse me, many academicians using students' work for their self-promotion. I've seen many professors who didn't touch on anything but have their name first. And that is rampant in USM. And I know of people. So go back to ethics.
Right. Thank you. If we have other questions or sharing coming from our Zoom participants, please do acknowledge, or rather, please do try to comment in the chat box so that I can acknowledge you. Okay? So maybe we can entertain 3 more questions or 3 more sharing, whatever. So while we are waiting for the other participants to share their questions or comments in the chat box, let me ask this question to you. Azwan, this is from an anonymous Zoom participant here who chatted me in Facebook Messenger. Among Asians, how can we create and help each other towards a research culture? How can we create a research culture, and how can we help each other as Asians?
First, thank you, Dino, and thank you, the person who asked. This is a very pertinent and important question because this is the first step to that. We are now together in this forum discussing. We can start creating a group from all over the countries, whoever interested in, and we can start sharing. We can start sharing. We think, we observe, and we discuss. That is what research culture is about. Research culture is not about self-glorification, which is happening. I am so sorry, I have got to use this word, which is happening especially for the younger generation. Why? Because when they come in, I'm referring to my university, they have been pressured into this ranking game. So they don't know other ways. During my time when I first started, research culture was the best that I've ever gone to. We work with the senior help us. Of course, they will always be bantering and all, but we have to respect each other's professionalism. So we take in. I've been criticized like mad by Prof. Zahro. Remember our keynote for Hong Kong? No, for Taiwan speaker. But he is my best mentor. The way he taught me how to work in the academia, to do research, to do what matters most, helped to make who I am today. I went on the right track. I was pressured by ranking. I was pressured to publish or perish, but because I am all set and ready, I'm passionate about research, hence I can keep on going. It's not easy. It's not easy, but because I want to do it. So we can begin now. We can have a research a group whereby we exchange ideas. You need to discuss. You don't work in the silo because research is about society, so society at large, be it in your community, in your country, in the university, in your nation. We share. And then we do joint research. That's what I've been doing with the Indonesian, uh, with the Pakistani, and especially with the Philippines esteemed academician. We have to do that. If you're interested, let's start a research group and help each other. I would strongly suggest that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is actually a very international type of collaboration. With authors coming from different countries, different perspectives. I think the research that they can come up will be a good research, a good one. And speaking of that, Azwan, let me just plug this in. We are trying to promote our ACMC journal, and we would like to, of course, invite the researchers here to contribute to our ACMC journal. And we would like to promote it. Like, what I'm trying to say is it is now an open access journal. It is an open access journal, so they can be shared freely with others. And just please visit our website, which is www.asianmediacongress for the details of our journal. And I would also like to take this opportunity to promote the submission of abstract for our upcoming 2021 conference. So if you are writing a research right now, you might as well try to submit it for our 2021 International Virtual Conference, because we cannot go physical still as of this moment. So it will be hosted by Auckland University of Technology in New Zealand. So we have an upcoming deadline, which is June 15, more or less around 2 weeks from now. But I believe that for those who are here in this room who are interested to present their paper in an international conference, please still visit www.asianmediacongress.org for more details. Now, we are down to our last two. Let's ask Kyria. Kyria is raising her hand. Go ahead, Kyria. Please unmute your microphone.
Hi guys, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hello.
Hello, hi there. Is it loud enough? I'll turn on the camera.
Yes, it is loud enough.
So can you see me? Sorry guys, let me turn that off. Can you see me?
Yeah, we can see you now.
Lovely. Can I just say it's night time here in Auckland. So I'm bright because of the lights. Absolutely right. Dino, completely agree with you in terms of if any of you are currently writing or you have a research idea and it's burgeoning and you want to come up with something, please do consider submitting your abstract to us because at the end of the day, we had wanted to have it in Auckland, in New Zealand, but because of COVID, it's now on a platform that's online. Still though, this is a good opportunity for you to reach out to international delegates who are really interested in the Asian Congress, not least because we've been around quite a while now. I was listening to Azwan talking, but I was not able to type anything because I was actually on the highway coming back, so apologies. But I find this talk really, really vibrant, you know, when each of you are talking about, you know, if you're part of a government setup or university, and you've got all these policy makers telling you that research should go a certain way, and Azwan telling us that passion should be driving research because it's half the job done. You know, it's half the battle won. And I must agree with her because one of the talks that I'm one of the speakers giving a talk, and I will be addressing how we can strategize your research into something that's publishable. And when I talk about publishable journal, it's about putting your work in a journal that appreciates your work. And can I just say, over time, you will be ranked internationally, you will be known. Because until we get our names known, until we band together as a really strong force, nobody's going to know us, you know? And I think that's part of what's making the Asian Congress for Media and Communication noticeable. You know, more and more people are saying, what's this group? What are they doing? It's really exciting stuff. And I think it's really great that you guys have come together. You are emerging researchers. So please meet the deadline. I believe it's, when's the deadline again? Is it mid-June?
June 15, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, June 15. Can I just say on the Auckland side, it says 30th. So between 15 and 30th, I would say that's an acceptable time. The sooner, the better, guys. We'll be opening the registration if it's not already open, because I've asked events to open it. And you can start registering, you know, to show up and have your paper delivered. So we'll be really looking forward to having you join us. There are, I think, 14 streams, but clearly that's not finite. It's whatever topic that you've got that's you're interested in, we welcome you. And as Azwan was saying, you know, it's all about marginalized. If you feel marginalized, if you feel sidelined, if you feel that your research has not gotten any traction or ground, ACMC is the place, all right? Because we would love to have you with us.
Right.
Did I feel all right?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. You are live in New Zealand right now. It's already nighttime there.
It is. That's why I'm so bright. If you have any questions, please feel free to put in the chat for any one of us.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Kyria.
Thanks very much, Dino.
Yeah. So Azwan, let me just go back to you. There is one question here that I would like to ask you. This is coming from Ms. Maksood. I do not know where she is from. Salam. In COVID-19 era, we learned to exchange knowledge and ideas and values, but we didn't accept ideas and values. You say nobody like to anyone. Globally, communication rise political issues and culture clash. But what you say about these weak points of global communication?
I don't quite get the question.
Yeah, I think that her question is, what can you say about the weak points of global communication when people do not accept ideas of each other?
Oh, okay. One, in academic, ego is the highest point. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to be recognized, acknowledged. Everybody wants to be the best. Okay, put that away. We all have egos. I have my own ego. Everybody have ego. Accept that we are different. Our thinking, our ideology, our culture, our takes in life generally and in academic work. Respect the differences. Do work with people who believe in you, who believe in exchanging ideas. Like us in ACMC, I don't know if we have the same ideologies, but I do know we help each other to build each other up, and we help to promote each other because we believe the values that everybody carries is the right value. So, uh, ego aside, if you want to be, you want to be popular and famous, you join Miss World pageant. That you will be popular and famous, hands down. But in academia, it's about your work, it's about helping the society, it's always about giving the best back to the society. That's where we come from. If it's just about self-glorification, what is it for me? Then I don't know, probably you need a job that give you that satisfaction. For me, society comes first. I do research because of society. I do research because I love knowledge. I love to share knowledge. So I'm very serious about us creating what you call it, a research group across countries, university and all, and we work from there. Who knows what will come out from that? We don't aim big. We aim high to help each other. That's the first, the first contention. Then everything will fall through. I believe in that. Thank you, Dino.
Thank you so much, Azwan. And before we end this particular forum series, the first of our forum series, I would like to remind everyone to please answer the evaluation form. The link can be found in the chat box, and we will be sending you certificates after you have completed the evaluation. So today, this afternoon here in the Philippines, morning and evening in other parts of the world, it has been a very, very fruitful day for all of us. And we thank Azwan, Dr. Azman Azmawati, for sharing to us why all of these things that make us different from the Western research, what makes us unique. And we are also inviting you all to our 2021 International Virtual Conference. This will be held in November 25 to 27, 2021 virtually, which will be hosted by the Auckland University of Technology in New Zealand. And this pre-conference forum series will actually run for the next 6 months. So from today until October. And we have Dr. Durgesh Tripathi next month, last Saturday of June, that's June 26, 2021, same time. And then we will be having Kairia Raman of New Zealand on July, Smith Bonchutima of Thailand in August, Dr. Benjamina Paula Flor of the Philippines on the 25th of September, and David Del Agata of Italy on October. So that concludes our program for today. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone, and see you again next month.
Wait,
June
let's
26th.
picture first.
Let's have
Can
that's
everybody
almost
see?
forgot. Let's have a group picture. So for those who have their cameras, you may open it. So right, we
Yes.
are well attended.
I'm
Who
going to count to 3 because we have several pages. So I'm just going to count to 3 and just stay still while I take a snapshot.
Right. Let me take a snapshot also.
1, 2, 3. Again, next group. 1, 2, 3.
You have
And
to remain smiling.
group. Yeah, sorry, you have to keep smiling. And again, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rachel. And thank you, everyone, for attending this first of the 6 pre-conference forum series. So see you again next month, same time, same Zoom link, everyone with Dr. Tripathi from India. So that's all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you and goodbye. Please take care.
Thank you all. It's a
God bless.
pleasure. We shall start
Thank
the
you.
research group, yeah? Thank you all.
Don't
Thank
forget
you,
to
Dino, Rachel, Walter, Kyra.
right.
Okay, thank you and welcome to ACMC. Ending. Okay.